Muy buenas tardes, bienvenidos a su clase de inglés. En breve daremos inicio. Qué bueno que están aquí. Vamos a esperar unos minutos y daremos inicio con la sesión del día de hoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Rodrigo. Today we're gonna be two topics very important for you, right? The first is the proposition of place. Remember in the last class we looked at the proposition of time in, on, and, right? Well, today we're gonna look the proposition of place in, on, at, next to, in front of, behind, under, etc. A preposition of place is a preposition we use it to refer to a place or a space where something or someone is located, right? By the end of this topic, you will be able to use it proposition to tell others where something is located, right? So the topic today is preposition of place. Prepositions of place. Prepositions, right? Uh, what is the preposition? What are the preposition of place? I mean, in, on, and in front of, behind, right? First, we need to make a broad distinction between place and space and ask what is a space, right? The concept of a space is general and has no limits or boundaries, right? Second, consider the term preposition used to indicate space or place, yet they don't have meaning by themselves, right? Imagine yourself entering a room and just saying and or in. Don't make sense, right? Can you imagine the faces of the people in that room? They would be surprised or confused because the proposition need to be combined with other words. So they have meaning. Look at the expressions in the box and notice that prepositions are beginning apply to the context or space or place. Right? The first, next to, next to, I mean, this bottle is next to, right? This pencil next to, a un lado. Next, in, in means in means inside, inside, right? Adentro, in. The next, on, on means right, uh, on the notebook, right? On, right? Encima, on. Under, under means right there, right? Under. This pencil is under the notebook, right? Under. The next, between, between means, for example, check this notebook between two pencils, right? This notebook is between two pencils. I mean in middle of, right? In middle of. Below, below it's almost that under, right? In front of, I mean this bottle of water is in front of the notebook, right? Enfrente de, in front of. Next, on the right, on the right. In my position, on right? In your position, on right. This is my right? And this is your right, on right on. And on the left, right? On the left. This is my left, right? This barrel is on my left, right? My left, my left. On your position, on the left, right? On the left. And the last, and sorry, this is all preposition for this moment, right? Please they follow all these preposition of place. Repeat. Next to means a un lado, right? Inside, like this. Inside, right? Inside. In. Hold on. Under, right? Under. Between, in middle of. I am in middle of my, I don't know. I am in middle of two pencils, right? In front, below, under, almost under, in front of. I am in front of the camera. On the right, on the left, right? In English, prepositions are usually used in the following manner, right? Check this, the structure for the prepositions. In this case, first, subject. Plus, verb. Subject, verb, complement, right? For example, check my friends, subject, this is my subject, my friends. Next, verb are, in this place goes the preposition of time, of place, right? In this, in the complement preposition. My friends are in. And finally, complement. My friends are in the gym. My friends are in the gym right now, for example. Notice the preposition is part of the complement in this case. Complement, it's all this. Right? Another example with this. Subject, right? In this case, subject maybe can be maybe a thing. For example, the entrance. Next, verb. is preposition. In this case, I'm gonna change some things, right? No. Behind preposition. The interest is behind behind of us. Behind means right behind. This is behind, right? Detrás de, right? Behind of. The interest is behind of us, right? Nowadays, the preposition is the complement, right? Preposition of a space and a place usually follow the following partner. Object, be, preposition, locations, right? Object, next, be, next, be, preposition, next, preposition, location, or other objects. Right? Other, for example, the door is between the windows with this structure. The door is preposition between the door is between the windows. I'm gonna draw. Oh, I'm gonna try to draw this. I mean, this is the door, right? And here we have some windows, right? The door is between the windows, right? Please take note for this one, right? Now, check this ball with this one. Check this ball. Can you see? Right, right there. Check this ball. What is this? Next to, in, on, under, between, below, in front of, on the right, on the left, etc. In this case, this is in. And what is this? This is on, I mean sobre, right? And this is maybe on the right or next to. And this behind of the box, right? In this case, in the box. The balloon is in the box. The balloon is on the box. The balloon is next to box. The balloon is behind of the box. Now, in this case, the balloon is between two things. In this case, the balloon is under the box. Debajo de. Please take photo for this one. Are you ready? Right. Just hold on. Right. Mm. Now, the first homework for you. I'm gonna delete all this for your homework. Homework for you for writing. Homework. The first. For writing. Writing. Now, for this activity, the names is how I use preposition to describe my bedroom, right? My bedroom. I mean the place where I'm asleep. This is my bedroom, right? Prepositions are relevant in the location because they show locations. Write a brief text describing your bedroom. Use at last 5 locations employing 5 different prepositions. Use a different preposition for each place. Check for example on the first you may use in, on, under. In the next, on, in, between. In the third, on, between, next to, the next, between, next to, above. I'm gonna give you one example for this homework. Check for example, my bedroom is decorated. Check my example. Example for this one. Just hold on one moment, please. Check this example. In this case, my bedroom is decorated with blue and yellow. In the center, in the center of my bedroom, there is a large bed. There is a large bed. First preposition. Next to, this is my first preposition of place. There is a table with a base of flowers. on it. This is my next preposition of place. On it. That there is a wardrobe to the left to the left of my bed with a computer table. And etc. Right? This is your first homework. Use the preposition describing your bedroom, right? Now, this is all for this topic, right? The next topic is quantifiers. Many, much, some, any, a lot of, a few, and a little, right? Please take for this one. The next topic is quantifiers, right? Quantifiers. In English, there are some exciting topics to study, such as quantifiers. As the name suggests, quantifiers are used to indicate quantities, right? Commonly, we express quantities using numbers, but we can also use words to express quantities, amount, and degree of something. These words are known as quantifiers. In, in this lesson, you will practice countable and uncountable quantifier, such as many, much, some, any, a lot of, a few, a little in a context of food, right? Diet or eating habits. Do you like food? Um, I bet you. Everybody loves food, but how much food do you eat? So, it is vital when you talk about food to express quantities. In this lesson, you will think about your eating habits and food vocabulary with a lot of pictures. This lesson is divided in three sections. In the first section, you will check the classification and use of quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns. At the same time, you will learn a lot of vocabulary related to food. After the explanation, you will practice doing some grammar exercise to reinforce what you have checked during the lesson. Section 2. In the second section of this lesson, you will have the opportunity to practice the four abilities of the language: reading, listening, writing, and speaking related to the topic of food. At the end of this lesson, you will have the opportunity to evaluate yourself to see how much you learn in this lesson. We are sure that you will have a lot of fun learning, right? Right. Sorry. Hold on. Dejen tomar tantita agua. Thank you. Right. In the third section, when you finish this lesson, you will be able to exchange information about existence using quantifiers such as many, much, some, any, a lot of, a few, a little to express non-specific quantities and amounts of food. Right? So, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to express information about existing using quantifiers like many, much, some, any, a lot of, a few, and a little to express quantities and not specific portions concerning eating habits. Remember that the key to the begin successful in is practice, right? So it is good idea you study the vocabulary, complete all activities, and do the grammar exercise for exercise to achieve their objective. Do the activities as many times necessary as necessary. Are you ready for this delicious lesson? Right, let's begin answering the question. How much food do you eat? Right. The first section. What kind of food is there in your fridge? Do you have fruit, vegetables, drinks, snacks? Right? Now, I'm gonna, sorry, the first exercise. In this case, what kind is food is there at your home, right? Vocabulary for food. I'm gonna give you vocabulary for food. The first word of this vocabulary it's bananas, right? Means plátanos. Cookie, rice, cookie, rice. Cookie means galletas. Rice means arroz. Meat means meat means carne, right? And pork meat, carne de puerco. Next, milk, juice. Milk means leche. Juice means jugo. Next, cereal or coffee. Cereal of coffee, tomato, cherry. Tomato means jitomate, right? Or tomate. Cherry means cereza, right? Another hamburger, apple, pineapple. Hamburger means right, this hamburguesa. Apple, manzana, pineapple, piña. I don't know, sugar, cheese. Sugar, cheese, bread, azúcar, queso, pan, carrot, butter, waiter, ice cream. Mantequilla, agua. Ice cream means helado, right? Egg, onion, right? In this case, what is countable and what is uncountable? Remember, countable is things that you can count. One onion, two onions, three onions, and uncountable things that you cannot count, right? For example, wine, sand, milk, water, right? In this case, bananas countable, cookies countable, rice uncountable. It's very difficult count rice. Meat uncountable, milk uncountable, juice uncountable, cereal uncountable, coffee uncountable, tomatoes countable, cherry countable, hamburger countable, apple uncountable, 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 countable, right? This is the difference between countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Now, you have a lot of food vocabulary. Are you hungry? I think you are, right? Please write down this all this vocabulary. Sorry. Thank you, sorry. Our objective is to express quantities, but to achieve our aim, you need to know the difference between countable and uncountable words. At this point, you have learned many words related to food. Do you know what kind of word they are? They are nouns. All these are nouns, right? All these are nouns. Now, in English, there are two kinds of nouns, countable or uncountable, right? The next topic is this, countable, uncountable, countable versus uncountable, right? Countable are things that you can count, right? Countable things. Read. Countable nouns are things you can count, right? Meaning you can use numbers to calculate them, right? Repeat. You can use number to calculate, right? For example, there are three bananas, right? There are three bananas. Countable nouns can be singular or plural. This is plural, right? Plural. For singular, there is an apple, right? Repeat, this is plural. This is plural. And one example for singular, repeat. There is an apple. There is an apple. Sorry. There is an apple. There is an apple, right? This is for singular, right? Uncountable nouns can be singular or plural. This is singular, and this is plural. Now, the quantifiers, right? Uncountable things that you cannot count. For example, water is uncountable, right? There is some juice in the fridge, for example. There is some juice in the fridge, right? Now, quantifiers. In the previous explanation, we checked the different kinds of nouns. But now it's time to talk about quantities, right? In English, a quantifier is a word that indicates a number, countable nouns, or an amount, uncountable nouns. To ask for quantities, you need first use how many with countable nouns. For countable nouns, right? How many for countable nouns with countable nouns? For example, how many apples are there? Repeat. How many apples are there? Check. I'm going to speak in Spanish. How many means cuánto, cuántos, right? In this case, how many apples are there? ¿Cuántas manzanas hay? Right? Means existent, right? How many apples are there? And you can ask, there is an apple. There are two apples. Right? How many apples are there? I think there is an apple. All right. I think there are two apples. Right? There is means I, the existencia for singular, and there are means I, the existencia for plural. Right? This is the difference between there is and there are. Now, use how much with uncountable nouns. How much with uncountable nouns, right? Just hold on. I am cold. Sorry. I'm gonna give you one example for this one. For sorry. One example for this. How much meal is there? How much meal is there? Repeat. How much meal is there? Because this is uncountable noun. Things that can counted, right? it's incorrect say 1 meal or 2 meals. Maybe you can say 1 bottle of milk, 2 bottles of milk, but say just 1 meal or 2 meals, it's wrong. It's wrong, right? Right. And you can ask for this. There is some milk. Just there is some there is some milk. Sometimes it is difficult to show the exact quantity of number. When you can specify the precise number of amount, we use quantifier to express quantity, right? The next topic, the next subtopic is use of quantifiers. I'm gonna delete this. Please. Anota eso en tu pizarrón, por favor. I'm gonna delete this, right? Right. The next topic is use of quantifier. Use of quantifiers. As shown on the chart, it is essential to know the difference between countable and uncountable to use them correctly, right? For example, to use much or many, a little, a few, you need to know the difference, right? But there are some quantities such as a lot of, some, any, which you can be indistinguishable, right? Now, there is and there are in quantifiers. There is and there are with quantifiers. There is, there are, right? There is and there are. Right. To use the quantifiers, we need to check a topic that you are familiar with. There is and there are. Do you remember them? Of course you do, right? You use there is and there are to express existence, right? Now, countable nouns. The next, countable nouns. Countable nouns. Now you are gonna use there is and there are with quantifiers. With countable nouns, you can use there is and there are depending if you refer to singular or plural on other words. If you refer to one or many, for example, there is an apple in the back, right? Check this first example. There is the first example with this. There is a an apple apple in the back, right? In brackets means singular, only one apple. Singular, only one apple. Next example with this, there is no apple, right? There is no apple. There is no apple. For singular apple, there are many apples in the back. There are many apples in the back. In this case, changes, right? Because it's plural. Plural, many apples is the word. Many apples, all right? Now, next example for this one. There are some cookies on the table. There are some cookies on the table. Right? There are some cookies on the table. Plural and some cookies. Right? And the last example with this in negative. There aren't any cookies. There aren't any cookies, right? Just it's all. In this case, plural cookies. Right? Please take take note. Right. This was with countable nouns. Now the next uncountable nouns, right? Uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns. Check this. For uncountable nouns, you can only use there is. Repeat. With uncountable nouns, you can only use there is. Why? Because with uncountable noun, you only refer to singular conceptions. For example, there is a lot of butter in the fridge. Repeat. Only with uncountable noun, only use there is. I repeat, only use There is. Example for this one, there is, and quantifier, there is a lot of. There is a lot of butter in the fridge. Right? In the fridge. Right? Singular, butter, not butter. Right? Next, there is some juice at home. Quantifier, there is some juice at home. There is juice at home. And the last example in negative, there isn't any bread. There isn't any bread, right? Check this. In check this please. In the case of a or aim, be careful. Even when the expression even when it expresses singular, it cannot be used with uncountable nouns. Check this, for example. Correct for this rule with the case or a an, right? I mean uno, una. It's correct say in this case with a an an. It's correct say there is some use. There is some use. But it's incorrect. It's incorrect. Say there is a use in the fridge. This is wrong. You can use a or an with uncountable nouns. It's wrong, right? Check this, please. Right now, please take note for this. Are you ready? I'm sure you. Um, I'm gonna delay all this, right? Now, let's practice countable or uncountable. In this exercise, you will identify how the nouns we reviewed in this lesson and classified that and classified. That is to say, how they are counted. Are you ready? Right. Please think if is countable or uncountable, and in a moment I will give you the answers, right? Countable or uncountable. I mean, I'm gonna give you some words and you try to identify if is countable or uncountable. For example, breathe, egg, sorry. The first, breathe, egg, bread, egg, sugar, pasta, hamburger, hamburger, uh, use, milk, use, milk. Try to solve this one, right? Cheese, milk, ice cream, rice, cheese, milk, ice cream, rice. It's all, right? The first, breathe. It's countable or uncountable? Countable? Uncountable, right? This is uncountable, right? Because a singular concept, no piece to count on singular concept. Next, egg, countable or uncountable? Countable, right? You can you can count eggs. The next, sugar, countable or uncountable? In this case, uncountable, right? Uncountable. Next, pasta, countable or uncountable? Uncountable, right? Pasta is uncountable. You can count. Sorry. You can count pasta. You refer to amount, not individual pieces, right? The next, hamburgers. Hamburgers, countable or uncountable? Countable, right? Next, juice, countable or uncountable? Uncountable. And milk, countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Cheese, countable or uncountable? Uncountable because I refer to the concept, not I not refer all of the piece, right? Uncountable. Milk, countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Ice cream, countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Rice, arroz, countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Right? Please take note for this one. Right. Now, the second part for quantifier. And now you know the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. It's time to practice quantifiers. Remember the importance of understanding the difference between them. How much? Remember. Uncountable. Remember. How much it's for uncountable nouns. Uncountable noun. And the next, a lot of means. A lot of. A lot of. And a lot of means in Spanish, muchos. Right? Means muchos. And it's for both, for countable and uncountable. Right? A lot of. Muchos means muchos. And it's for both countable and uncountable. And next, quantifiers, a little, a little, a little. And a little means it's poco, poquito, right? And only for uncountable nouns, right? Only for uncountable nouns, right? Only for uncountable nouns. Next quantifier, a lot of, a little, how much, and the next is much, right? Much. Much only used for countable nouns. I mean muchos, muchas again. Muchas and only for uncountable nouns. Now this is for uncountable nouns. Now the next is how many. How many, remember, is for countable. How many is used for countables. Then the first quantifier for this is a few. A few, right? Now, a few is only for countable nouns and means pocos, pocas. Right? Only for countable noun and means in Spanish pocos or pocas. Right? A few. The next or a few, many. Many. Right? Many means muchos in Spanish, and many is only for countable nouns. muchos, muchas. In Spanish, we only use for countable nouns. The next, a lot of means, right? Muchos and is for both countable and uncountable. And is for both countable and uncountable. A lot of. And the next, a or aim, right? A or aim, right? A or aim means uno. I mean means one, right? One. And it only be used with countable nouns, right? Only used with countable nouns. We already saw this topic in previous classes. Remember that it's depend of the sound of the of the next word is we put a or n for the vowel sound or the consonant sound, right? The next, some or many, right? The next topic que va de la mano con este, some or many. Some or many. We use some for positive sentence. Some is not much. I mean, first, some. Repeat. We use only for positive sentence. Right? And means in Spanish, algo de, unos, algunos. Means in Spanish, algo de, unos, algunos. Right? The next, any. Now, any, we use any with negative sentence and interrogative sentence, right? Uh, First, negative sentence and means only for negative sentence and means nada de, algo de, ninguno. Nada de, algo de, ninguno. Right. Exercise with affirmative and interrogative sentence. Right. Affirmative or negative sentence. Check this exercise with these rules. I'm gonna delay this for the next exercise. Exercise for this. Well, check this. The first, we need apples. We have a blank. This is the first exercise. Next, there isn't juice. Blank. Some or any. Third, I want water. I want water. And four, four, the pot doesn't have salt. The pot doesn't have salt. Now the answer. We need apples. Some or any. Some or any. And in this case, it's a positive sentence. Now is some. Next, there isn't use. It's a negative sentence. So is any. Right? There isn't any use. Sorry. The third, I want positive sentence, some water. And the last, the pot doesn't have any, nada de sal, right? Negative sentence. Now, with interrogative sentence, some is more used when we are offering something. Repeat. Some in the interrogative sentence. Some is used when we offering, right? Offering, right? Something to someone. Cuando estamos ofreciendo, vamos a utilizar some en oraciones interrogativas. For example, how do bad be in English, right? Check this excerpt. Translate this sentence in English. I'm gonna write down in a Spanish sentence, and your homework is translate all this sentence to English, right? The first, ¿quieres algunas manzanas? your answer. Next. ¿Hay algo de agua en la botella? ¿Hay algo de agua en la botella? Next. ¿Te gustaría algo de leche? Here goes your answer. And the last. ¿Hay algunos animales en tu casa? In this case, in this space goes your answer. Now I'm gonna give you the answer of all these translations. ¿Quieres algunas manzanas? In Spanish, in English, sorry, it's like, do you want some apples? Y utilizamos some porque estamos ofreciendo algo. Y recuerda que la regla dice que en las oraciones interrogativas vamos a utilizar some cuando estemos ofreciendo algo a alguien. En este caso estamos ofreciendo algo, manzanas, a alguien. Pues no se sabe, ¿no? Pero es a alguien. ¿Quieres algunas manzanas? Do you want some apples? Right. The next. ¿Hay algo de agua en la botella? ¿Estamos ofreciendo algo? En este caso no estamos ofreciendo nada. Estamos preguntando si existe agua en la botella. Right? The translations maybe can in the next shape, in the next way. Is there any water in the bottle? Is there any water in the bottle? The next. ¿Te gustaría algo de leche? And the translation may be it's like some. En este caso sí estamos ofreciendo algo, ¿no? Estamos ofreciendo leche, por lo tanto vamos a utilizar some. La traducción quedaría de la siguiente manera. Would you like some milk? Right. Remember, it's like, este es como la terminación iría en el español. Would you like some milk? ¿Te gustaría algo de leche? And the last sentence and the last questions in English is like, hay algunos animales, check this, plural. En tu casa, it's like, are there any? Porque no estamos ofreciendo nada. Are there any? Right? Are there any? Utilizamos any porque en este caso no estamos ofreciendo nada, no estamos ofreciendo animales. Estamos preguntando por la existencia de animales. Entonces es, are there any animals in your home? Right? Right. Please take note for this one. Are you ready? I'm sure you are ready. Voy a borrar. Hemos aprendido bastante hasta ahorita. Seguimos. The third part, quantifiers. In this exercise, you have the opportunity to practice the quantifiers that make a distinction between countable and uncountable. Complete the sentence with the correct quantifier. Are you ready? Te voy a poner unos ejercicios para poner en práctica lo que acabamos de ver, ¿vale? Traigo preparado 8, pero creo que con 4 son más que suficientes para ver si realmente entendiste. O, bueno, tal vez los 8 para que no quede duda en esa parte. Exercise. The exercise is the next. Complete the sentence with the correct quantifier, right? This is the instruction. Complete this sentence with the correct quantifiers of the sentence. The first sentence is, she doesn't eat meat. The next, there is orange in my bag. There is orange in my bag. Next, there is sugar in my coffee. Uh, that there is sugar in my coffee, I want more. right? I want more. The next, for how blank cheese would you would you like? How like would you like? The next, 5. Is there eggs in the basket? Is there in the basket? Repeat. Is there sorry. Uh, is there in the basket? Right, it's all. Is there eggs? Sorry, it's wrong. Sorry. Oh. Is there sandwich in the basket? Right. Sorry. Is there sandwich in the basket? And the last, are there cookies in the box? I get off of the board and try to solve this. She doesn't eat meat. Right. I'm gonna give you the answer for this exercise. The first, she doesn't eat meat. Remember, what word we use for negative sentence? She doesn't eat any meat. Ella no come nada de carne, right? The next, there is blank orange in my bag. What word we use for singular? There is an orange in my bag. The next, there is sugar in my coffee. I want more. What word, what quantifier use for this? There is a little sugar in my coffee. I want more. Hay poca azúcar en mi café. Quiero más. The next, how cheese would you like? Repeat, how cheese would you like? What word we use? How many or how much? Use how much. Why? Because cheese is an uncountable noun, right? Cheese with double E. Cheese, right? And the next, is there sandwich in the basket? What word we use for singular? Is there a sandwich in the basket? And the last, are there cookies in the box? What word we use for plural and interrogative? Any, right? Are there any cookies in the box? All right, please take note for this one. for this exercise. This is the first part of the exercise. I'm gonna give you other exercise for this knowledge. Te voy a dar otros ejercicios para que pongas en práctica estos conocimientos, right? Please take note. Are you ready? Right. Right. For there is or there are is the exercise. There is or there are. There is or there are. Hold on. There is or there are. Right. In this activity, you will practice the use of there is and there are with quantifier. Choose the best option to complete the sentence. I'm gonna give you 5 sentences for put on in practice all this knowledge. Now, check this. The first, check it. Blank any pasta to eat. There is or there, sorry. Is there or are there, right? There is or there are. What word we use? Right? Next. Blank, again, a lot of chocolate to make the cake. A lot of chocolate to make the cake. Right? The next one. No. This is no. This is not a question mark. Without question mark. That. Right? Next. Space. Third. Third. Blank. Some sandwich for the picnic. Right? For sandwich for the picnic. Next. Four. Blank. Now, any tomatoes to prepare spaghetti? Spaghetti, right? Spaghetti. Now, the next five. 5. Blank much apple yogurt in the fridge. Much apple yogurt in the fridge, right? I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to answer this exercise. I'm gonna give you, please try to solve this. Ok, te voy a dar las respuestas. Espero que tú ya las tengas. For the first, is there or are there? What word we use for this? Is there or are there? Is there, right? Is there any pasta to eat? Because pasta is uncountable. So the only possibility is there, right? The next, a lot of chocolate to make the cake. There is or there are. There is or there are. In this case is there is. There is a lot of chocolate to make the cake, right? A lot of chocolate is uncountable, so the only possible is there is, right? Next, there is or there are. There is or there are. There are. There are. Some sandwich for the picnic. Right answer. Some sandwich is countable. So the only possibility is there are. Right? The next. Any tomatoes to prepare spaghetti. Any tomatoes to prepare spaghetti. Is there or are there? Is there? Are there? Are there any tomatoes to prepare spaghetti? Why? Because tomatoes is countable. So the only possibility is there are, right? And the last, much apple yogurt in the fridge. Much apple yogurt in the fridge. There is, there are. In this case is there is. There is. There is much apple yogurt in the fridge. Why? Because it's apple, but yogurt is uncountable. So the only possibility is there is, right? Or the yogurt. Yogurt is uncountable, right? Please take note for this. ¿Quedó claro o hacemos otros ejercicios? ¿Les parece si nos echamos otros 5 ejercicios más? Para que quede claro, porque es un poco complicado el tema. It's a little complicated, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna give you 5 exercises more, right? Please take for this one. I'm gonna delete all this knowledge. check this exercise. Please take note for this. I'm gonna give you 5 exercise more. The first, in this case, 6, right? 6. And we begin with a blank. And only one pineapple for the pie, right? Repeat, only one pineapple for the pie, right? 7. The 7 is the next. 7, we beginning with 1, and the next is a few cherries to decorate our cookies. Our cookies. The next, 8. Blank, a little orange juice for breakfast. A little orange, repeat, a little orange juice. A little orange juice. A little orange juice for breakfast. Dejen tomar agua. 9. The 9 is blank again, and a lot of onions in the market. A lot of onions in the market. A lot of onions in the market, right? And the last, blank, any milk in the glass. Any milk in the glass, right? Any milk in the glass. Tienes 20 segundos y enseguida te doy las respuestas. ¿Qué va ahí? There is, there are, is there, are there. Por favor, trata de resolver ese ejercicio para poner en práctica todo lo que estuvimos viendo a lo largo de estas 2 horas de clases. ¿Qué tal? ¿Ya lo tienes? Are you ready, bro? Are you ready, sis? Right. Or neither. 6. Only one pineapple for the pie. There is, there are. There is only one pineapple for the pie. It's only one pineapple. It's countable, but singular. So now the only possibility is there is, right? The next, a few cherries to decorate our cookies? There is or there are? In this case, there are a few cherries to decorate. Why? Because a few cherries is countable. So the only possibility is there are, right? It's countable. Next, a little orange juice for the breakfast. A little orange juice for the breakfast. There is or there are. In this case is there is, right? There is. A little orange juice is uncountable. So the only possibility is there is, right? Nine, a lot of onions in the market. A lot of onions in the market. There is or there are. In this case, the right answer is there are. Right? There are. Why? Because a lot of onion is countable. So the only possibility is there are. And the last for today, 10. Any milk in the glass. Repeat, any milk in the glass. There isn't or there aren't. Check this. Any indicates negative, right? So the only possibility is or there isn't or there aren't. In this case is there isn't, right? Why? Because their milk is uncountable. So the only possibility is there isn't, right? Well, right? Right. Only, right. How many correct answer did you get? One, two, three, and oh, excellent, right? We are sure you are an expert in using quantifiers. If no, try the exercise one more time so you can get a better score. After doing the practice exercise, it's time to practice language skill. Keep in mind all content review. For the speaking, for your homework, it's the name it's do you have a healthy lifestyles? Right? For the how. Many people think you are what you eat. Tú eres lo que comes. So maybe the kind of food in your house says a lot of your lifestyle. Answer this simple question to check it. The kind of food there is in your home show the lifestyle you have. Think about the food there is your house or fridge. Read and answer the questions with information about you. Use complete sentence in your answer, including there is, there are sentence, quantifiers, uncountable or uncountable nouns, and the question is the next. In your house, first, how many apples are there? How many? Next, how much sugar is there? How much sugar is there? Next, how much ice cream is there? How much ice cream is there? Next, how many vegetables are there? Are there any carrots? Are there any tomatoes? How much water is there? Is there any soda or beer? How much fruit is there? Are there any bananas? Is there any pineapple? Are there any apples? And seven, is there any meat? Is there any milk? Are there any cookies? Take, take, taking it for 1 minute, right? And this is the last. Based on the food you have at home, what can you say about your lifestyle? Is it healthy? Yes or no? When you have your answer, make a recording yourself. Make a recording. Record yourself, right? Bueno, eso es todo por el día de hoy. Espero que les haya gustado la clase y hayan aprendido muchísimo. Recuerden que los temas en estas 30 horas que vamos a tener de curso de inglés jamás se van a repetir. En todo caso, haremos un pequeño review del tema, pero no pienso repetir ningún tema. Todas las clases vemos aproximadamente 2 temas nuevos, ¿vale? Siempre trato de prepararlas de esa manera, que todas las clases se vean 2 temas nuevos, para que se note el avance. Y eso es exactamente lo que yo hago en las clases y lo que los compañeros hacemos en las clases de inglés los días sábados. Siempre vemos temas nuevos para que el alumno sienta el progreso sobre su persona, sienta que aprende nuevo vocabulario, nuevas estructuras gramaticales, nuevas habilidades de lenguaje, de la escritura y de el audio. Bueno, por mi parte es todo, los dejo y nos vemos el día viernes para una nueva aventura educativa. Chao.